Hey world, it's your host Marshall, and thanks for tuning into my podcast, runONthoughts. Here we talk about everything and nothing because we are not afraid to be all of ourselves even as we evolve. And that's my thought for my fellow thought thinkers as we unpack our traumas, past hurts, and other BS. Y'all ready? Let's go. Hey thought thinkers, let's go, let's go, let's go. Welcome to 2026. We made it to the year 2026. And I know that 2025 was trying and full of ups and downs and downs, and hopefully some more ups. But we have made it to 2026. And contrary to popular belief, I know that it is hibernation season. Many of you are feeling depressed and feeling tired and feeling like you don't want to get out of bed, but don't feel overwhelmed. Understand that you have sowed, you have reaped, and now it is time to rest. Think of yourself like a bear. It is resting season. You have done all the work. And while you are resting, I would like for you to listen to the first podcast of the year because I don't want us to set resolutions. I want us to grow and give ourselves permission to be ourselves. So one of the things that we can do while we're resting is listen, rest, read, watch a good movie, eat some popcorn, think, right? It's also a good time to do an overview. So many people are making a resolution, but have you looked over the year and decided on what you did right, what you did wrong, and how to move on into the new era with new information, new tools? Because resting should be about doing inventory of your life, right? It's the signal that you need to do that inventory. We can't just keep moving on. We have to get off of the rat wheel and we have to do the internal work. And that's what this time is used for. And today, I want to go in a little bit, not a little bit different direction, because who gets to decide what's negative? I hope that you're sitting on your couch or on your chaise or in your bed or in your pajamas and you're listening and you're giving yourself permission to simply be yourself. Because one thing I've been circling around in my head and with you guys is authenticity, right? All of these conversations that we're having, they're about authenticity, what it costs us and what it gives back when we finally choose authenticity. And something I've learned along the way is that authenticity doesn't just affect us individually, it shapes the communities we build and the ones we feel safe enough to belong to. Isn't that crazy? I have on headphones and I'm getting ready to take them off. I thought that I would like them, but I don't like this muffling sound that I hear. And I'm just going to use them for playback, but I don't really like them on my ears. So if you hear any foolishness, that was me taking off my headphones. But back to the subject, who gets to decide what's negative? We live in this crazy world that loves labels. And I mean loves labels. Even classism is labels. The whole system is built on labels because it needs you to believe that you are not worthy because someone is more worthier than you. And that is not the case at all. Words like weird or different, too much. Sometimes those labels are rooted in truth. but they're often used to control the narrative, to decide what's acceptable and what should be pushed to the margins and who should be pushed to the margins. Stereotypes don't just influence how others see us, they influence who feels worthy of connection. Isn't that crazy? Worthy of connection? You're simply worthy because you are worthy. Isn't that some sick shit? All of this foolishness. Yes, all of this foolishness. Have you ever noticed how quickly a word can be turned into a weapon? I've been called weird my whole life. And what I've realized is that most words and most of the times that someone uses these words or tries to use these words against you, they are projections. Projection is going to be my word for the year. Last year, it was curating. But this year, it's going to be projection because every time I'm explaining something to someone, I let them know that most of what is happening to you from the lens of other people is projection. And if you understand projection, then it should help you understand and it should help you not allow what other people say infiltrate your spirit to the point where you are accepting what they say about you. But most are projections about how they see themselves. It's not about you. So let it bounce back. When people can't be authentic, they often envy those that can. So I understand that that is why most of the time I am not liked. But I am comfortable in the seat of not being liked because I am authentic and everyone should not like me, right? I don't need everyone to like me. I don't even need everyone to respect me. I need you to keep your feelings in your own motherfucking head, but I don't need you to respect me. I don't need anything from you. If you are not in alignment with my life and where I'm going and I can be used for you and you can be used for me, get the fuck out of my way. Society has a way of taking what's true about us and twisting it into something negative, not because it's harmful, but because it doesn't fit neatly into the boxes we're expected to live in. And I'm not living in no motherfucking box. I keep telling you guys that. I don't fit into a box. I am all of myself all of the time. I am many things, and I do have a leading representative, right? But I know that as a human, I am sourced with enough skills and personality traits to be what I need to be in the moment. That's what it's called when they say being able to wear many different hats, right? But like I said, society has a way of taking what's true about us and twisting it into something negative, not because it's harmful, but because it doesn't fit neatly into the boxes we're expected to live in. Stereotypes often hold fragments of truth, but they're really told with care. They're told with control in mind, meant to shape how others see us and eventually how we see ourselves. While you're laying in bed, question, how do you see yourself? And is it rooted in who you are? Or is it rooted in who others have told you you should be or what it should mean? I was always called weird, like I said, and for a long time, I wondered why that word was supposed to hurt. You see that? Why it was supposed to hurt. It doesn't hurt. But that's my natural instinct. I know that this does not come naturally for most. Now I understand it wasn't an insult. Well, I really didn't give a fuck if it was an insult. It was a signal. And in that signal lies the power. It was a signal that I wasn't shrinking. It was a signal that I wasn't blending in or abandoning myself to be palatable. You hear that? I'm weird. My name is Marshall and I am weird. What are some things about you that others have told you you shouldn't like about yourself, but you're okay with? But because you're trying to fit into their narrative and be palatable, you're confused and you're trying not to be weird or whatever it is that they call you. Remember the word projection. Today's conversation isn't about denying the labels. It's about deciding what they mean, because the most powerful narrative you'll ever own is the one you tell yourself. The one you tell yourself. Last week's episode, which also was last year's episode, choosing joy over acceptance, we talked about what happens when we stop waiting to be chosen, approved of, or understood, and instead decide that our joy doesn't need permission. That conversation was about letting go of the need to be accepted by everyone in order to feel whole. If you haven't listened, lock into runONthoughts.com and listen, because you're here for a reason. You're here because you want to become your most authentic selves. I am not here to talk about what's going on necessarily in the world. I'm here to talk about what's going on in your world, in your mind. All the other stuff will make sense, or you won't give a damn about when you become real with yourself. Most of us are out of alignment and we are upside down, and we can't get right side up until we decide to do the work. We don't need to be accepted by everyone in order to feel whole. Remember the word projection. Today's conversation is the continuation of that truth, because once you choose joy over acceptance, you start to notice how often labels and stereotypes are used to pull you back into needing approval. Words like weird, I keep saying this, or different, are meant to signal that you stepped outside the lines. But they're also invitations to abandon your joy in exchange for fitting in. So today, I want to share and I want to help us build on that foundation. We're talking about what it looks like to keep your joy intact, even when the world tries to define you negatively, and how choosing yourself again and again and again becomes an act of both personal freedom and collective healing. You see, the world can't heal. The whole world, it can't heal if each of us is out of alignment with ourselves. Because when you are out of alignment with yourself, you are not living. Why can't I think of the stupid word? In your purpose. Sorry, purpose, you're not stupid. And your purpose doesn't have to be big or something that you have to go on this hero's journey for. You know what it is, you feel it, but you're not sure because you've allowed the world to tell you something different about who you are. You've allowed the truths about yourself to be shaped by other people. And I can get down in the gutter and I can tell y'all some crazy things. I once had a boyfriend tell me that I was a black bee. I don't know why I don't want to say the word bitch now. Maybe I didn't want to say them together. And the truth is, I am black. But because I don't see black as negative, and I believe that I've shared this in an episode or two, but because I don't see black as negative, I wasn't offended. That was him projecting how he sees his blackness, his disdain. It's how he has allowed the world to tell him that black is ugly or not beautiful. And so he was projecting that pain onto me, trying to hurt me because he is hurt about it. But I am clear about my blackness. I am clear about my weirdness. And the bitch word, maybe. Maybe, right? Because I am unwilling to be boxed in. I am unwilling to dim my light. I am unwilling to remain small for anyone. I am unwilling to allow anyone to project their beliefs onto me. I get a say so. You get a say so in how you feel about yourself. You get a say so. I've been called loud. So fucking what? If you're quiet, go with the quiets. Why does my loudness or joy offend you? Why does my choice to be colorful in my clothing, in my demeanor, why does that affect you? Usually it's because you are dimming yourself in order to fit in, and I am unwilling to do so. Because once again, the question I ask you guys all the time is, who the fuck are they? They are the powers that be, but most of us have never seen them. They get to control you without even having to see you. They get to control you with money. They get to control you with power, but their power lies in you not loving yourself. The power lies in them bullying or putting you in classes and groups so that you don't realize that your collective power takes away their power. Your living in your light takes away their power. Who the fuck decides what beautiful is? Or big or small? Just because you believe something doesn't make it true. Just because others believe something about you doesn't make it true. I've been told that I'm not nice. Guess what? That one is true. I'm not nice. Nice means people pleasing. I'm not a people pleaser. I'm a Marshall pleaser, but I am kind. That means that I do acts of service because I want to. I consider myself a servant. But I serve those that I love, and I serve my own agenda. I serve what makes me happy. I serve who makes me happy. I serve who fills up my cup, even as I am filling up my own cup. See that right there? The only way to not feel abused by the society at large with their shit is that you have to fill up your own cup and drink it. And then keep replenishing. It is your responsibility to love yourself and love all of the things that make you unique. Many of the things that people are saying negatively about you are the very things that should make you feel special and powerful and unique and chosen. All of this DNA, all of these things about you, they are you. Why does what he or she or they or them think even matter? Why do you need to fit in? That sadness that you're feeling, That sadness is not about who you really are. That sadness is because you give way too many fucks about what other people think. You want to be skinny, even though you like your body. Ain't that some shit? Now, if you don't like it and it really doesn't work for you, that's one thing. But another thing is, it's kind of like the pursuit of perfection. I constantly tell you guys that the pursuit of perfection is a sin because perfection doesn't live anywhere and it often has people looking crazy, acting crazy, but even those are my opinions, they're not fact. Because, like I said, just because you believe it doesn't make it true. It's your opinion. You're out here falling out on the floor and confused and feeling worthless because of someone's motherfucking opinion. And even some of the facts that you think are truth are still based in someone else's decision to make it true. If they say you're fat, but who decided what's fat? It changes. Who decides what's masculine? Who decides what's feminine? Who decides what's good, what's bad? Who decides what's positive, what's negative? If your decisions are not hurting others, and I don't mean feelings, but if your decisions are not hurting the livelihood of others, and they are rooted in you being authentic and not authentically mean. No one is born mean. Those are social constructs to hide your pain because you are not doing the work. And you know it because you know how you feel inside. Look inside. I don't care what nobody tells you. You got to do the work. It's not in a book, and I mean it's not in any book. You can be inspired by me. You can be inspired by others. You can be inspired by religion, but ultimately you got to go do the work. And that is a fact and a truth. But I do want to give you some ways to reclaim the narrative of yourself. First of all, you have to redefine the label for yourself. The way I redefine weird, well, I haven't redefined weird. I've just accepted that I'm weird. And because I'm weird, weird is good. And that's on that. That's it. I looked up the word weird. I am not willing to fit in. I do color outside the lines. Words only have the power we assign to them. When you decide what a label means to you, it loses the ability to control you. Whatever they say you are, look up the word. Redefine it. And guess what? If you really don't like it, you also have the power to change that about yourself. But if you are comfortable with that label, if you are comfortable with being weird, sit in it. It's like me becoming comfortable with being black. I've always been comfortable being black, but the world tried to change that. So I had to go on a self-discovery and realize what the fuck could be wrong with being everything. Black is all of the colors. My skin connects with the sun. Look at what those words are for you and the power that it has. My weirdness has power. My willing to accept being weird has power. It means that I cannot be dimmed. You can't steal my light for your use. I am standing tall in who I am, and that is what I want for you. Separate observation from intention. A stereotype may describe a trait, but its use is often meant to limit or dismiss. Acknowledge what's true without absorbing the shame attached to it. Think about watermelon. The number of black people who still think that eating watermelon should have some negative connotation often makes me upset. But I understand where it comes from. It was indoctrinated, right? It was passed down. It's a generational curse rooted in envy and rooted in making sure that you feel less than. When we got free, I'm making a long story short. We sold watermelons. We were making money at watermelons. And to make you feel less than, they published articles showing us with big lips and watermelon. And look, it worked. You stopped selling the damn watermelon. It's rooted in making you feel small. I love fried chicken. I love watermelon. I used to love Kool-Aid. I'm too old to drink all that sugar. But the truth is, everybody eats and drinks all of it. But yet, it's some stupid connotation attached to you. Get the fuck out of here. Or the word ghetto. Yeah, ghetto until the masses can figure out how to package it and sell it for a profit. Remember that shit. The only thing I see when I see ghetto is people who know how to make a way out of no way. It's those at the bottom who got to use what they got to get what they need. Stop feeling embarrassed about it. Even ghetto, even poor, everything can have a privilege if you know how to use it. But don't be made to feel small about being able to make a way out of no way. There are some things about being loud or being wrong, but those things are not ghetto. Those things are disgusting. But making a way out of no way, carrying a mattress on your back is not ghetto. That is making a way out of no way, because guess what you got in the end? A mattress. Carrying the sofa on the train, all I see is that was the only way that you could do it with your means, but you did it. You got the sofa home. Be proud of yourself. You see how they mix in truths with untruths? Keeping your place dirty is ghetto, or wanting to live in a dirty community is ghetto, or not treating others well is ghetto, but making a way out of no way is not. Being creative, being colorful, being joyful, laughter, dance is not. But once again, remember, these ideas about the word are used to limit or dismiss who you are. Don't allow people to dismiss who you are or the things that give you power. And lastly, anchor your identity internally. When your sense of self comes from alignment with your values and truth, external opinions become background noise, not defining features. And that is my armor. That one there is my armor. I am clear about who I am. I have told you guys that I've been told by many that they have tried to break me. And I've told you that you can make me cry. You can make me sad, but you cannot break me because I am clear about who I am. I am in alignment with myself. I am in alignment with my values. Your external opinions about me belong to you. You cannot project you onto me because I am comfortable being all of me. At some point, guys, we all have to ask ourselves a quiet but important question. Whose voice? Whose voice are you using to define yourself? When we let society decide what's negative, we give away our authenticity. We give away our authority. But when we reclaim our story, when we choose to see our differences as depth instead of defects, we take that power back. Being called weird, it didn't break me. It reminded me that I was living in my whole truth, not a watered down version designed to make others comfortable. You don't owe anyone an explanation for your authenticity. You only owe yourself honesty. So the next time a label comes your way, pause and decide for yourself whether it's a limitation or confirmation that you're exactly who you're meant to be. I'm tired of talking to you guys. Bye.